Too much applause. This could be shit, but thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming out. How's everyone doing tonight? Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Or as the French say, good evening. No, it's bonjour, bienvenue. Yes, yes, I'm learning. I'm trying to practice my French. I'm not gonna lie, Montreal probably has the sexiest border I've ever come to in my life. Yeah, I didn't feel like I was being interrogated. I felt like I was being flirted with. It was really sexy. And sir, what are you planning to do in Montreal? I'm planning to stay. That's what I'm doing. The French. The most romantic language in the world. I don't know why the accent is romantic as well, but it is. It's funny how every accent has its own connotation to it. You speak with a French accent, you are sexy. How are you, ladies? And then there's some accents just have no sex appeal to them at all. You know? Like the Russian accent. There's nothing sexy about it. Everything the Russians say sounds dangerous and menacing. Doesn't matter what they say, because they've got that thing. Yes, I'm Russian, go to kill you, break you, destroy your family. Like even if Russians say nice things, it still sounds dangerous. They still go, yes, fluffy rabbits and teddy bears. What? It's like that weird thing, like the Russian accent is so... And you know, like the crazy thing about the Russians is everyone in the world is afraid of them. Everyone, no matter where you go in the world. You know the Russians are frightening because they're the only country that makes America think before doing something. Everywhere else in the world, America acts when something happens. When Russia does something, we think about it. Yeah, you saw the whole thing that happened with that plane that was shot down, the Malaysian flight, the Ukrainian rebels shot the plane came down. You know, America came out, Barack Obama, he was there, he's like, we gotta find out who did this. We're gonna come down on them like an iron fist. We're gonna let them know what time it is. I'm paraphrasing. And then everyone found out it was the Russians that supplied the Ukrainian rebels with the missile that shot down the plane. And then all of a sudden Obama was like, but let's not rush to conclusions. Let's take our time and not point fingers, especially not at the Russians. I'm going home now, thank you very much. There's something about the Russians. You know what's weird is I find the Russian accent frightening, but not the Russian language. It's the strangest thing ever. There's certain languages I find frightening. There's certain accents that throw me off. You know, for instance, I find Arabic frightening as a language. You know, it just has that thing in it. The guy could be saying anything. We're talking about Candy Crush. But it's because we've watched all those movies, all those TV shows. Every time you see Arabic, some bad shit goes down. It's never something cool or sexy, you know? It's never like, it's never that. So the language is frightening, but Russian, for some reason, I don't find frightening at all. Yeah, I don't. I realized this. I was walking through the streets of New York, and there was a Russian guy. He was walking next to me, and he happened to be on the phone, right? And it sounded like he was setting up a drug deal. And so this guy is walking next to me, and he's talking. And he switched from English, the English-Russian accent, into Russian. And it went from fear to no fear. It was the strangest thing ever. He was on the phone, and he was like, yeah, no, Vlad, don't worry. The guy's got to be at 3 o'clock, okay? You meet him, you tell me after that, you got the package we call. Don't worry. Hey, Vlad, no, listen. Vlad. Девач но дерегеш ночь, yeah? Да, дижнитно видач но вот jet на дегет нет дочь динардич вот не греш вот не get watch the red. And it was the craziest thing ever. He went from like international criminal to immigrant. It was the weirdest thing. Like I had no fear at all. I'm not afraid of the Russian language, just the accent. In fact, to me, the Russian language just sounds like someone's playing a vinyl backwards. That's all I hear. It sounds like someone took a DJ of English and they were just there like, yeah, yeah. He's just like, yes, yes. We go to find, don't worry, Vlad, the guys go to be there, 3 o'clock, okay? Yeah, yeah, bring the package, don't worry about that. After that you find, you give me the call, okay? No, Vlad, нет. Вид ночь, get вот на жит, радждет, вот нигет на жит, вот ночь, о вет ночь, вот зидночь, вот зирджи, the вот get that, it notch, bit not bit, a bit Russian. That's what I'm hearing in my head. And if there's any Russian people here tonight, I'm joking. Please, I don't want to have issues after the show. Walking out of the theater, hey, funny guy. Why you don't come DJ here, yeah? Wiki, do it again. I'll be honest, I don't think that textbook thing is like a real issue. I feel like it's one of those manufactured issues that often happens in America that gets people riled up and gets them fired up, fighting about something that was never an issue to begin with, you know? And the reason I say this is because that's honestly what I believe. I feel like in America, politicians have done a really good job of tricking Americans into fighting about issues that were never an issue to begin with, so that you don't pay attention to the issues that actually are. You know? If they can get you fighting about what's in a textbook, you don't pay attention to the fact that inflation is out of control. You don't pay attention to the fact that rents are out of control. People cannot afford to live anywhere. Your salaries have never kept up with inflation. Corporations steal billions and billions of dollars from their employees with no ramifications. You don't pay attention to any of that. You pay attention to what's catchy. It's easy to keep up with. It keeps you going, you know? Ooh, can trans people use public bathrooms? Ooh. It's manufactured. Who was actually dealing with this issue? And I mean this, honestly, who was actually dealing with this issue? You know what they did? Some politician out there figured out, they go, here's a small story affecting a few people in a random place. I'm gonna make it seem like this is a nationwide issue, and then everyone starts fighting about it. But who? Who was really dealing with it? Huh? Who of you here has ever been in a situation where you were in a bathroom and all of a sudden a skirmish broke out and you heard people being like, excuse me, is this the gender that you were born with? Does it coincide with the sign on the door? Is your genitalia matching this? Can I see it right? Who's ever seen that? Nobody. Nobody. But they make us fight about it because it's catchy. Who can use which bathroom? Who cares? Who cares? I mean it, who cares? I know someone will be like, oh, but trans people care. They want to know if they can use a public bathroom. Yeah, use whichever bathroom you want. Who's gonna stop you? No, seriously, it's a public toilet. Who is going to stop you? You tell me who's gonna enforce that law. We can't even enforce the idea that people should shit into the toilet. But you think magically they're gonna figure out if you were born this way? Use whichever one you want. Why are we wasting our time? Other people are like, oh, we're gonna fight because you gotta know who's using. Let me tell you something. If you are spending enough time to know the genitalia of the other people in a public bathroom, you're the creep. I'm worried about you. There is a simple rule to every public toilet around the world, and that rule is you get in, you pay no attention to anyone else, you hold your breath, and you get out. You're standing around staring at other people. Like every man in this room knows, when we use the toilet, what do? We get in, public toilet, you stare dead ahead. You pee, you do your thing. You do not look to either side. If you're fidgety, you look up, you look down. You do not look at anyone else. The guy next to you could start choking. You don't turn your head, you don't shake, you don't move. You hear him like, you be like, hey man, hey, you all right? Yo, hey man, you okay? Yo, you want me to call? Hey man, are you okay? Yo, you want me to call? Don't look at me! What are we doing? What are we fighting about? Public bathrooms. Public, and if you know your history, you'll know this happens all the time in America. It happens over and over and over again. There was a time when women had to fight to use public bathrooms in America. Imagine that. There was literally a time when women weren't allowed to use public bathrooms all across America, and they had to fight. And there were men who were angry. They're like, this is crazy. You're gonna have women in public bathrooms? That's insane. Like, how does it work? Huh? What, they're gonna come in there while we're peeing? And then what, they're gonna look at our wieners? Huh? And they're gonna laugh? Huh? Think about this, ladies. There was a time when women were first allowed to step into the workplace where there were no public bathrooms that they could use. So ladies, if you were out and about back then, you needed to pee, you needed to poo, you had to go home. Yeah, and I say poo theoretically, I don't know if you actually do. No, I don't think any guy does, let's be honest. We don't. Like, we assume this on a biological level, but I don't know for certain that any woman actually, in fact, any man in here, I don't, like, think of any woman in your life. Do you know the last time she pooed? I don't think you know. I don't think you know. There is no forensic evidence to back up that claim. There is no smell, there is no stain, there is no nothing. And ladies, I don't know who's doing your bathroom PR, but they're doing a stellar job. Stellar job. Women go to the bathroom, smells better when they come out of it. How? You never know when a lady's pooing, never. Because also, women keep the same amount of time. That's the most impressive thing. You give nothing away. Yeah, a woman's gonna go pee, it takes 10 minutes. She goes to the bathroom, all right, gets there, tinkle, 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 comes out, washes her hand, powders her face, texts on the phone a bit, comes back to the table. You have no clue. Yeah, she's gonna go poo, same thing, 10 minutes. Goes to the bathroom, does a thing, pellets, comes back out, wash her hands, powder the nose, text her friends, get back out there. You have no clue. With men, you know exactly what we're doing. Discretion is not our forte. You know when every single man is gonna go pee. Why? 2 minutes. Off to the bathroom, we're in there. Quickest thing ever. It's like a NASCAR pit stop. Yeah, we get in, we pee, we come back out, act like we're washing our hands, and we're back. How do you know when we're gonna take a dump? Because it's obvious. We go to the bathroom, never come back. That's the last time you'll ever see us. Your family's putting up wanted posters in the restaurants. Have you seen this man? Imagine, people were fighting about bathrooms. This every time in America, every time. There was a time when black people had to fight to use public bathrooms. Huh? Same thing. Black people were like, why can we not use public bathrooms? And again, people were angry. This is crazy. You're gonna have black people in the public bathroom? How does that even work, huh? So what, they're gonna be standing there while I'm peeing, huh? And they're gonna be looking at my wiener, huh? And they're gonna laugh, huh? Yo, I'm old enough to remember when there was a discussion in America about whether gay people could use public bathrooms. This was an actual topic of discussion. I remember seeing people on the news being interviewed. They'd be like, do you think that gay men should be allowed into the same bathrooms as straight men? I'd be like, look, I don't mind what they do. If they keep it to themselves, that's fine. But just answer me this. How's it gonna work, huh? So what, you're in the bathroom with them and then what? Like he's gay and I'm just standing there and I'm peeing, huh? And he's looking at my wiener, huh? And then he grabs it, huh? And he starts yanking on it, huh? He just starts tugging away, and I get hard, and I'm enjoying it, huh? And then this is one of the best experiences I've ever had, huh? And then I start coming back weekly, hoping I'll bump into him, and I do, huh? And then at some point, we agree to meet outside a nice little restaurant that's cozy and get to know each other, huh? And then a few years later, we get married, and our families are joined, and we live happily ever after, huh? Is that what you want? Why? Public bathrooms. That's why you shouldn't bury your history. Yeah, because if you know it's happened, you know what to predict. You understand why it happened in the first place.